Hello again. Alicia here. I'm getting super excited because this is super fun. And this is helping me zero in on the few books that we're really going to focus on. I'm eliminating some by doing these introductory videos and just kind of identifying some of these books as just supplemental and ones that are in my library, and I want to tell you how they're useful. You can think about if you want to check them out. And then I'll also be able to kind of refer to some of them. This video is about the practicality of just doing the work. So if you have not already met Steven Pressfield, I'm super excited to be the one to introduce you to him. He is amazing. The Artist Journey is going to be one of our primary books to get started with, but I wanted to mention this one, Do the Work. It's all about doing the work, and it's amazing. And it's really easy read because it's like not a lot of, he kind of spaces things out and bolds things to kind of make a point. And so there's not a lot of words. It's a really easy read. It's a small book. I've seriously read this book 3.5 times minimum. Not joking. It's, and I was just thinking this week that I should sit down and read it before I do these videos, and I was like, no, Alicia, just start recording the videos. Like, no more waiting. Like, this is happening. You've arrived. It's time. Don't do anything else. Just record the videos. But I wrote a blog post recently, and I started it like, I feel like I'm in the belly of the beast, or I just went through the belly of the beast. That's from this book, The Belly of the Beast, where he talks about being in the middle of this creative work. So this book is just a really good motivational kick in the pants, but also informative in just how you think about doing something creative, a creative work. And just to give you an idea, he says, he gives a list, and it's like, this will help you deal with resistance that arises if you are doing the pursuit of any calling in writing, painting, music, film, dance, or any creative art, the launching of any entrepreneurial venture or enterprise for profit or otherwise, any diet or health regimen, any program of spiritual advancement, any activity whose aim is the acquisition of chiseled abdominals, any course or program designed to overcome an unwholesome habit or addiction, education of every kind, any act of political, moral, or ethical courage, the undertaking of any enterprise or endeavor whose aim is to help others, any act that entails commitment of the heart with relationships, the taking of any principled stand in the face of adversity. In other words, any act that rejects immediate gratification in favor of long-term growth, health, or integrity. So he approaches this from the perspective of a writer and like writing a book, or being a creative, like creating something from an artist kind of standpoint. But I like that list. Like, if you were about to start any of those endeavors, you read this book, and he really kind of talks about how to get started, what's on your side, what's not on your side, just get going, write out the, beginning, middle, end. He's like, the whole summary can fit on one piece of paper, write it out based on instinct, get started, get going, and then he's like, and then you'll hit a wall, and then you'll figure out whatever, and then, anyway, I don't want to get the whole, but I love this book. I love all of his books. I think the main interesting concept that he really establishes and goes over in here is resistance, and this idea that any creative work elicits like an equal and opposite reaction, kind of. He's like, by doing this creative work, you cause this resistance to be created. And he kind of has this really fun, interesting perspective on it and the way that he describes it. But I think, I'm still teasing out in my own mind, but I think there's an interesting parallel between this and the ego. And he also kind of talks about how to deal with the ego. That'll probably be when I refer to this book. It'll be when we're getting into that kind of hashing out and describing what the ego is, how to identify it, how to deal with it, how to recognize it. But on the topic of books that are about just practical and doing the work, I absolutely love this book, and it will probably be in our next group. But I want to really really go deep and focus on something. And so we're going to focus on our relationship with ourselves and what it looks like to flip that switch from the ego to the soul, because it's huge. It's the only way to really live the life you're called to, and it's a hard thing to do, and it's a hard thing to walk out. So I really want to focus on that and go deep, and that's how I decided to pick the books that we're going to focus on. But I just wanted to say this one's amazing, and I will definitely be referring to some things from this. And this is almost kind of a guidebook for just practically living a life of excellence and establishing habits, right? Habits and routines. Once you have found your true self, you've found your voice, you know you're listening to yourself and you're headed on the right path. Once you get your identity and your calling and your focus, and you know that you're ready to do the right thing and that you're in the mindset to monitor your thoughts and listen to yourself and, you know, head off on that endeavor and then be doing those practical habits, then I totally recommend his book. It's amazing. Alright. That video is not as long. Those are 2 more books we'll be referring to. Super fun. I would get into high performance habits more and talk about it more, but honestly, it would just turn into a really long video. And I might do that at some point. I'm going to do some small bite-sized, just miscellaneous ideas, videos on YouTube. And if I do some that tie into what we're talking about, I'll like share them too and be like, hey, here's this other thought on this. All right. Thanks for watching these foundational videos. I will see you in the next one.